Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome to A Crafter's Story. My name is Celeste, and for those of you who have visited me on my channel and spent time creating with me, you know that I like to experiment, and so I'm forever looking for new ways to do things. And although this is not new to crafting, it's new to me. I've got just some plain coffee, the really inexpensive coffee, some instant coffee that I bought actually a while ago, to be honest. I've mixed it up with a little bit of water. I've got about 1.5 tablespoons in here. It's nice and strong. I have got one of my watercolor, not my expensive, just my regular watercolor brushes, and I brushed on some of this coffee just on 2 pieces of paper, and I also did some droplets of coffee in places and just little squiggles. I did a little bit of painting and and a coffee cup just to see what I could get away with. So I'm doing this sort of the reveal at the beginning of a video, which is a little backwards, but I wanted it to dry and then do the reveal together and maybe do an example together as well. So let's see what prints we got from what I have laid down here. I think maybe I can move the coffee out the way and scoot this up just a little bit. So let's look at the key. I think everything's dry, so I'm going to lift the key and just... Oh, it wasn't quite dry. There was a pool of coffee underneath. I did this about 2 hours ago, but I think if I don't move this paper too much, I'll still get that basic key print look. So let's see about this one. This is a paper clip. Oh, it's a bit sticky. Oh, that is nice. This is one of those sort of circular fangly dangly paper clips. That's really nice. I think if I have a bunch of these, so if I were to cover this entire page with coffee and just laid them down, that would be gorgeous. Really nice. I have some twine here, and it didn't give a huge impression, but it does give me some detail. Okay, so the safety pin, let's see. Sticky a little bit, not bad. Kind of like the paper clip, not bad at all. So I'm seeing a theme here. The narrower or thinner the thing is that you put down, the better the imprint. When you have something with too much real estate, too much surface area, it looks like it pulls. And if you have something that's going to soak up the coffee, maybe your print isn't as vibrant or as distinct as these guys. So let's see what happens here with these can tabs. Oh, it is sticking a little bit. Torn the paper a little, but not too bad. Maybe not too bad. Yeah, I can do that. It tore the paper a little bit here, but not too bad. Here's a bigger tab. These are from sort of your soda tabs. This was more of, I think this was a tin of fruit. So it's one of these bigger ones. Oh, it's also a little bit sticky. Oh, I wonder if the different coffees are not as sticky. If anybody decides to try this and you experiment with different coffees, or maybe even a really strong tea, please leave a note in the comments and tell me what worked for you and what didn't. I'd be really interested to know. This is just a water bottle cap. That's not bad either if you had that all over the page. So I'm really happy with how each of these prints turned out. Oh gosh, there's quite a mess I made. Here, and here, I just painted. I took my brush and made little dobs and stripes and squiggles Here I just did a sort of like a grid pattern again, just with my brush, and then painted almost like you would with watercolors, a little leaf design. So not bad. Here I've tried to use a stamp, and I don't know, again, don't know what's going to happen. Let's see. No, it left a little bit of this heart design, but not really a stamp. I wonder, just out of curiosity, since there's so much coffee on here, if I could transfer, kinda, but there's no details. The little flower details don't really come out. So, but the basic heart shape is there. Okay, so that kind of sort of maybe worked. Maybe. This piece of lace, so I was able to dye the lace a beautiful brown with a coffee at the same time as hoping to get a print. Let's see if we did get a print. Little bit, but not a whole bunch. Let's see if I bring it up a little bit closer, if you guys can then see. I'll bring it back a bit. And I hope my hand is steady and you can see. This was just drops of coffee, and then these were also drops, but I squared them out. If you did a whole page like with this kind of thing, again, just drops. But I thought with that one, maybe, oh no, that's a bit too. Let me see if I can get a thinner pen like that, and maybe I could draw little flowers in here. Maybe that, little flowers like that, and this could then become a bouquet of flowers. So, you know, I could do something where I'm draw over the dried coffee and make that into a little doodle. So I think that's nice. And then one thing I did try on the whole sheets, I'm going to move these across just quickly. And where am I going to put this? On the floor. So I hope, okay, let's see. So I took some buttons that had that steampunk kind of feel. It's these little buttons. And I'm going to pull them off now and just see. Sticking a little bit. Oh no. Yeah, sticking a little bit. Let me see if I take this one off first. Oh, definitely, it seems to me, just going according to what I'm seeing here, is when you have too much real estate, like we did with a key, it does leave an imprint, but you run the risk of it not giving you a pattern, because that was supposed to be a clock, and I didn't get the clock. I mean, that little steampunk little, in places, I guess I'm getting lucky with some of it, but I think the coffee is sticky. I've never understood why coffee is sticky. I think this is going to tear, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have some successes with these and some not so much. It's still nice collage paper, so I'm not mad at it, but anything with too much contact with the paper is obviously a little bit of an issue. I can't get this guy. Oh, there, finally came off. So it's not terrible. It's really not terrible at all, but not what I expected. But I can still use this. All right, so let's see if we can do one together. I'm going to move this off to the side. Actually, you know what? I'm going to clean up here and come back. Nice, fresh, clean surface for us to work on. Okay, so we've got a slightly cleaner surface, still stained, but clean. The thought I had was, and it goes along the lines of me saying that the real estate has to be, or the surface area that I'm putting down has to be thinner. The key definitely was the first clue that's what I need to do. So I'm going to get down, and I'm really just trying all kinds of different things: bottle caps, safety pins, elastic bands, can tabs. Let's see, what else have I tried? I've tried stamps. What else? Let me think. Buttons, all kinds of different things. So go and, just keep your eyes open as you go through your day and see if there's anything that you can experiment with. And please tell me. I'd love to know in the comments what you guys have used. One thing I will say though is the paper is important. I did try and use a 40-pound printer paper and it didn't do very well. It really just crumbled on me. And then I tried I first tried regular printer paper. Didn't work, and then I tried the 40-pound. It didn't work. So I finally decided to go and get myself some 98-pound mixed media paper, because this is designed, it's obviously a little sturdier, but not quite as sturdy as watercolor paper, and it is designed to withstand. I'm going to move this across because I'm going to try and put another one there, to withstand or to hold up numerous different types of materials. And I'm going to just do the plonker down here, there, and everywhere. And I think they're going to leave nice patterns. I think I'm going to predict. My prediction is that this is just going to be every kind of gorgeousness that you can imagine once it's all said and done. I hope nobody wanted to use these hairbands, because they're mine now. I don't think so. I think I'm safe. And if not, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to pretend that I have no idea what happened to those hairbands that used to be all these pretty colors and that's now coffee stained. Let's see. I think I can, let's leave it there, and just because I just want to honestly try this and see what will happen. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of coffee here, there, and everywhere, and then just leave it to dry. And I think if I'm doing a collage, if I'm looking for something to put over a tag, or maybe just the cover of a little journal, little mini journal, this could be really nice. Okay, so I'm going to scoot it just a fraction to the side and move that up. Let's see, like that. Okay. And I think what I'd like to do is do a few more botanical type, do another one with botanicals. So, get out my paintbrush, move that away, and I want to make sure that you can see. Yep, you can see, that's good. All right. So this is very, very watery, and it does drip quite easily, but it paints beautifully. Really, really nice and really easy, just like you would with watercolor. I saw this not so long ago, where an artist was painting with the coffee, and she had, which was really interesting, she had all different strengths of coffee. And she was using that for shading. I thought, gosh, that is so clever. I would never have thought of that, but that was really clever. So if you've done this and you decide when you come back that your design is maybe, one moment, excuse me, that maybe your design is not as dark, you can come back and go over your design and make it a little darker, because that adds a little bit of shading. I just think this is fairly simple. I can go and just cover this entire page with my botanical design, and it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm probably going to cut it up and use it somewhere on another page, or maybe it becomes the background page in a journal somewhere. I don't really know. I never do. I never know where I'm going to use something. So I just like to make stuff. I'll worry about where I'm going to use it later. That's not important. Not yet anyway. It becomes important later. Okay, so I think fatten up these leaves a little bit. I'm going to go off and get this page covered and show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, I think that's probably enough botanicals, and there's too much here, so I'm going to steal from them. I'm going to probably bring in my paper towel and pull up some of this coffee because there's way too much there. But in the meantime, I'm going to just use it to splatter this page and fill in some of the white space. And I think when these are dry, I could come in with a fine black marker and just draw around each of the little leaves and give little veins to the leaves as well. I really like this. I think this could really make a nice greeting card now that I'm doing this. And okay, so that has to dry. I'm going to pull up some of this coffee. I think it's just way too much. Wonder if I can get it to run. It's running. Okay, it's running a little bit. Maybe I can just spread it. I think it is still too much. Okay, I'll dab up some. And there you go. Just like that. I think there's still enough pooling. I just dabbed up and added it back in. Okay, I think there's still enough pooling that it's going to give us a print. So I'm going to allow this to dry, and then we can come back and lift this up and doodle here and see how we go, how that turns out. It's now the next morning, and I've got 2 papers down. This one we did together yesterday afternoon, and I decided to do a whole page with these circular paper clips. I didn't put as much coffee on as I did with a sample, but I thought, let's see what happens. So let's take these, excuse me, let's take these elastic bands off, and the paper, so these little guys, actually, you know what? But I think the rubber ones turned out a little better. So this is kind of nice. This is making a nice random uneven pattern, which is nice because you can then, it's a little sticky. Still don't get why coffee is sticky, but it's working nicely. I'm happy with this. This is a beautiful sort of abstract circular design that's going to make a great backdrop for pretty much anything, a tag, a greeting card, the cover of a little notebook, a page in a journal. or at least in a collage maybe. And I noticed that this paper got stuck, and I think it's because some of it leaked underneath here, so I made a nice mess. But that actually did come out really nicely, so I'm pleased with this one. It's unique, and that's actually, come to think of it, all of them are going to be completely unique. So I think this one I can just kind of, yeah, I can probably just scoot them off. Oh, nice. Look at that. It almost looks like little roses, doesn't it? I think it looks like little roses. So if you have a rose theme, and these paper clips, I have seen them pretty much anywhere and everywhere. I'm sure you can get them on Amazon or AliExpress. I personally, gosh, I'm trying to think actually where I might have picked these up. I've had them for a while, I don't know, but I know I've seen them quite often. So this is really nice. And in places where I took my teaspoon and I placed a little bit of extra coffee into the middle of the paper clip, it did come up a little darker. So this one's really nice. I like this one. Okay, now another one I've tried. I think perhaps this is going to need far more drying time. And I just placed down a generous amount of the coffee on a sheet, and I covered the whole thing, and then I took some of the saran wrap or clear plastic that you would wrap a sandwich in, and I've placed it down. I did this last night. I don't know if it's dry enough. I'm going to guess and predict that it's not, but I'm going to lift it anyway, and if I have to do another one and leave it for 2 days, I will, but let's just see if anything did happen. Okay, so some things are happening, and I think if I had left it for another day, maybe until tomorrow morning, I might have had a better result. But the idea that I can get markings from where the plastic was scrunched, and maybe the next one I'll just scrunch a bit more, it works. So that's another option. Let me just carefully put this away, because that paper is not bad at all. It's got a grunge feel to it, so I like that. I wanted to try one last example that my brain conjured up last night, and it is to grab some Q-tips or earbuds and put them together, a whole bunch of them. I don't know how many are here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16 of them together. And it's up to you how big you want this, how small you want this. Maybe you only want 3 because it's the inside of a flower. I have no clue if this is going to work. Nope. Maybe I've got too much coffee on here. See if I can get some off. Maybe I don't go down as hard. Well, I was making a pattern, but I'm not sure that it's a pattern that I expected. But it's a pattern all the same. Okay, so as the coffee becomes less and less, the pattern this one doesn't excite me as much, but it is a pattern. So it is an option if I ever need something that just needs a very slight pattern at the back. And maybe if this dries, I come over with more. I mean, I don't hate it. It is, I could maybe doodle over this. Yeah, not bad. Not what I expected, but not terrible. So there you go. Let me see if I can get my light on this a little better because it's so faint. There you go. So it's very faint, but it's maybe a nice doodle background. Okay, so that was maybe not the success I thought. So I'm going to clean up here, and then I'm going to cover a card and a tag and show you how I can use these papers. And then I think that would be it. Okay, so it's all nice and clean again. I'm going to take our botanical leaf design, and I mentioned earlier that I'm going to come in with a fine black pen. This one is a Faber-Castell artist pen. I don't see a SX, maybe that's for small, extra small, must be, but it's very, very fine. And I'm just going to run my pen up the middle, and really just all I'm doing is outlining where our little coffee brown leaves are, and then a stem up the middle. Nothing fancy, you guys. I'm just going to do this. Should really start at the top, run it down, just like that, and then one more to go. And then this is going to become part of a card. I'm still on that making a card mission. I calculated the other day I have to make 21 cards a year to cover all the holidays that we have in our family. And so I think this is number 7. So I'm getting there. So let's see where, I don't suppose it really matters, maybe just, that's probably nice. Anyway, I think just anyway. So I'm going to put down some glue. I'm just going to use the back of this one so I don't get glue on my nice clean surface. And I thought I was picking up the extra strength glue, and I didn't. I picked up the school washable glue. It's working fine. I would like to have my other glue back. I'm using it on this because this is for me. I'm not, this is not something I'm going to be giving away outside of my family. So if something came loose, I'd have the opportunity to go and grab some glue and fix it. Okay, so let me get this down. Kind of like that. Oh, I need to move it over. Ay, ay, ay. Let me go over a little bit then. Over and down. There we go. Over, skid overs. Oh, skew. You're so skew. That's all right. Okay, let's cut it loose. Yeah, I suspect I'm going to have to come in here with a little extra glue. The washable glue is not bad for craft projects. I just don't think it has the strength of the extra strength, which, duh. It kind of makes sense, right? And I just like to be able to, I'm an impatient crafter. I think I've mentioned that before. So we do have still quite a bit here, and definitely I could use this as maybe a piece for a collage or a tag somewhere down the line. Oh, look at that. I'm so happy. And this lace that we used to try and get a print off, I thought would, on one of the example papers and example pieces, I thought it would look nice there. I really don't know if this is going to glue the lace down, but let's see. I'm gonna try. Give it a go. Just there. And I'm not going to put the lines on here. I'll do that later, because I think you guys, if you watched my previous video where I did make another card with some collage papers, you'll see how I used my line stencil to get the lines down for these cards. So just look at, I believe it was Wednesday the 29th of March is the date that I put that video out. So not so long ago. Okay, we get this, the story behind this paper, my crafter story. I eat lunch, of course I eat lunch. I eat a salad for lunch, but in the salad mix we buy, there's this purple cabbage, and I'm not a fan. So I saved the purple cabbage and I put it down on paper. That's why it's all crinkled. And then I put some rubbing alcohol, 91% or 90% rubbing alcohol on it. And I put it in my flour press between a bunch of other papers with more of this stuff. Oh my gosh, it stinks. It stinks so badly. But this beautiful purple paper comes out. So if you ever want to put some rubbing alcohol and paper and red cabbage or purple cabbage in your flour press, and if you have a well ventilated area where you can maybe even outside leave it for 2 days, it's beautiful paper, and the smell goes away. The smell doesn't stay on the paper. Excuse me. But while you're doing it, oh, it's bad. Bad. All right, I think just as a little something, I'm going to put a little sticker on here, and then with like little purple sort of lavender sticker there, and then we'll just age the edges here, and this card is done. Well, it's not done. I've got to put the lines in, and I probably will come and age up other parts like here. But it was an example of how I was able to use some of the coffee stained paper that we made and make a card with it. So I really like this card. You could keep going, add lace, maybe add some words that you stick on. Honestly, this could just be the base, or you could just give it like this. It's beautiful on its own. Okay, and I think the other thing I thought of doing just quickly while I've got you with me is to take this paper and to make a quick tag with it. And again, I just have to pay more attention when I'm shopping. Sometimes when I'm shopping, I'm in a little bit of a hurry, and then I don't pay attention to what I grab off the shelf, because sometimes, you know, if I'm grabbing 2 of something, the front one is correct and the back one isn't. And that, I just haven't learned my lesson. I'm going to put this right in the corner here so that I can, or maybe I should have moved it up so that I can come over, get some of this glue down, more down there. All right, we go over to cover this corner. This is slightly thicker paper, so it's not as, oh, look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. So pretty, guys. Gosh. I should say guys and gals. So pretty. All right, let me now cut it loose. Oh, it's coming undone. I really am going to have to come in with stronger glue, but I want to get this done so I can show you the potential of this paper. Where is that corner? There. It's there. Just scoring it so I can see where the edge, or folding it rather, so I can see where the edge is. And it's about there. There we go. And again, still quite a bit left for me to do something else with. This is not working. Let's get some of the Aleenes out. Goodness gracious. It's stuck. I think just on the end here, because it doesn't want to stay. There we go, that's probably going to be better. If I press down, I wonder if I can still see the hole. No, but that's okay. It's okay. Let's get a little bit of this lace down. I think maybe, lace, ribbon down. I think here's good. But first I'm going to get this rub-on sticker down there, because I want it to go underneath the ribbon. That, put it down. I think that will be nice. That'll work nicely. I'll just go down with my fingernail. I think it's probably enough, because I don't have any other sharp other tools on my desk that's not got a sharp edge, and I don't want to break this little leaf design. So you guys, if you use this, I think I have mentioned it earlier on, let me know what you were able to use your papers for. I'm always interested to see where a project inspiration goes with other people, you know, because I've got stuff going on in my head, and ideas flop around in my head all the time. But it's always just interesting to see or to hear what you thought of based how this may have inspired you. So that's always super interesting to me. And I think I'm not going to bring it around, I'll just cut it off, because I think I'm going to put some lines on the back here, and then it can be a tag and with some journaling space at the back. There we go. There, like that. And I just realized I did not bring my little punch, so give me 1 second. I'll grab that. Oh, crash, bang. My punch out, and I'm crashing everything. So let's get a hole in here. Where should we put it? I think that's more or less in the middle. Gosh, goodness. And I have some pretty little, I think they call this stuff scruffy, and I just picked it up at Walmart. It's in where you'd find the wool. That's where you'd find this. And they make scarves and hats and beanies with it, and I just craft with it. Let's get this in here. I can't, what am I doing? I can't crochet and I can't knit. I've tried. My mom has tried to teach me, and I think at some point she must have just thrown her arms up in despair. That is not my thing. Okay. So we've got a little card here, and I've got some of this white sticking out. Let me cut it off. There we go. And let's just age up. Oh, probably should have done that before the ribbon, but anyway. Age this up, and it's also done. So there you go. There we've used some of our paper to make two things. A card, a greeting card, and a tag. Now, of course, there's a million other things that you could have put this paper onto. This is just 2 examples. And just as a quick recap of some of the papers that we did, I've still got one stuck. We had the elastic bands, the round paper clips, the steampunk, what was this? This was the steampunk buttons. Then we had the Q-tips, earbuds that maybe, sort of, maybe worked. Let me bring this back like this. And then the very, very pretty, I think this is probably my favorite botanical design. We have that one with the saran wrap, but it's too wet, I'm going to leave it. Some more of our examples. More of our examples. And that is it, you guys. So I think if you just rummage around in your home, you'll find a myriad of things that you can coffee stain with. Well, thank you for joining me. I always have so much fun doing this with you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.